Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Dipanshi and today I'm back with another topic of hypothyroidism in dogs and cats. And without wasting any time, let's dive into the topic. First we'll study the basics. Hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism is a clinical syndrome that occurs as a result of decreased circulation of the thyroxine hormone, serum thyroid hormone, thyroxine, T4, and we won't only say that it's T4 and triiodothyronine, that is T3. That makes total thyroxine, that is T3 and T4. As synonyms, we will also say it is known as cretinism or congenital hypothyroidism. It mostly occurs in the middle-aged dogs, I will say. Any breed is not specific, but mostly what cases I have seen, I haven't seen in any toy or mini breeds. Mostly in large or middle-sized breed, we will see this disease. 2 to 9 years old. It is very, very rare in cats. So, cats maybe iatrogenic disease it can occur, but in cats it's very rare, and in any breed it can occur. Then it mostly is associated with diabetes or hypoadrenocorticism. Maybe whenever this disease will be there, you can also see diabetes and hypoadrenocorticism. Congenital is very rare, and this disease is divided into two parts, that is, it can be primary or secondary. Okay, the primary hypothyroidism is the most common one, which occurs due to disruption or atrophy of the thyroid glands. Atrophy is going on or disruption is going on, while the secondary, which is rare, it is due to inadequate pituitary secretion of the thyroid stimulating hormone, that is TSH. In this topic, we'll study three major hormones, that is T3, T4 and TSH, that is the thyroid stimulating hormone. Together only they constitute this disease. A common misconception is there whenever we see hypothyroidism sign, we'll just go for the T4 and T4 level is less, and then we think that it's a hypothyroidism. No, we should not confirm because of just T4. And now we will see the basic part, with mostly we have studied in our BVSC course. This will be a thyroid gland. We will just study the basics. The thyroid gland is a part of endocrine system that we know. It secretes the thyroid hormone. Whether you can see it or not, it sits on the back of its neck or either side of the trachea, that is the windpipe, and it regulates the various body system of our dogs. Okay, when it dips below the normal range, it results in hypothyroidism. Okay, one most important hormone is the T4. It is very crucial in controlling dogs' metabolism. When there is no enough circulation, metabolism slows down and cells don't know what to do, what they need to do. Now coming on to the chief complaint. So with what complaint the owner will come and what they will say? Mostly they will complain like the dog has weight gain, dog has become very lethargic, dog is feeling cold intolerance will be there, alopecia also can be noticed, and rat tail appearance that I'll discuss. And if it's a female dog, we will also notice that if we ask about the estrus history, if it's a female dog and ask about the estrus history, the animal will not be having regular estrum, like it may be having anestrus, and infertility will be there, libido in male dogs it's there, libido will be decreased, and in neuromuscular signs also we can see if the damage is to a larger extent, if the owner has brought late, then we can also see some symptoms of ataxia and seizures, and facial drooping and paralysis also we can see. These will be the chief complaints. Through this also it gets a little hint that what it can be. We can get a little hint. Now coming on to the clinical signs. So clinical signs, if you see this dog, a peculiar rat tail. In tail, no hair is there. Mostly no hair is there. Rat tail appearance is there. And mostly the hair loss will be on the back side. Okay. Back side you see, and it will be bilateral. On this side also it will be there. On that side also it will be there. On back side only, back ventral side, caudal ventral side, it will be hair loss, alopecia will be there. You have to peculiarly notice that. Then coming on to the next pic. So another sign we will see is the hyperpigmentation in the ears. We can see the hyperpigmentation is there in the ears. Next sign that is very important, also I have made a reel on Instagram, and these pictures are during my internship, and somewhat old, but these are the cases which I attended for hypothyroidism. First picture, you can see the coat is dull. We have to assess the coat. The coat is dull, thin skin is there, flaky, and patches of skin, that is hyperpigmentation is also there. Here also you can see the rat tail appearance, as I told in the first, that what are the signs we will see. Rat tail appearance, no hair is there, backside bilateral alopecia is there. Then in next picture we can see again over the trunk bilateral alopecia and the rat tail appearance. In another picture, what is another sign we can notice is that is myxedema, that you can see over the eyes. Over the eyes you can see the over the eyes slight swelling will be there, drooping eyelids, what we can say, or myxedema also we will say, drooping eyelids, like swelled skin will be there above the eyelids. Same situation I'll show you in another dog. In this also, drooping puffy folds can be noticed over the eyes, and these are the typical signs which anyone can diagnose, and through these signs also we can say the animal will be suffering from hypothyroidism. Then coming on to the diagnosis, as I said that only T4 will not give you a proper diagnosis. Why? Because first we will see CBC serum we will take. Through that also in CBC serum we will notice anemia. Then T4 normal level, you should remember that it's 2 to 4 microgram per deciliter or 24 to 51 nanomole per liter. These are the four things in which also we can notice a low level of T4. It can be age related changes, then daily fluctuation can be there throughout the day. Then because of any other illnesses going on into the body, because of that also the T4 can be low, and we have to focus on that other illness. And certain medications that such as aspirin if you have given, prednisolone here I have mentioned, and these drugs if we have given, then the T4 level will be lowered. Now what we have to do? So first we will take a blood test in which we will check the T4 level. T4 level, normal level I said 2 to 4 microgram. If it's less than 1, then it's a low level of T4. Then we will proceed for further diagnosis from this part. Now comes the TT4, that is combined T3 and T4, and then we will check the TSH, that is thyroid stimulating hormone. So T4 is actually bound. It's a bound hormone, and it's protein bound more than 99%, and free percent is only 1%. Okay, so T4, that is a bound one seen. Now another one, the free T4 is less affected, and the accuracy is 95% for this one. The normal level is 11 to 60 nanomole per liter, and TSH level is 0 to 30. So now then we will measure the TSH. First we will measure T4, then T3 and TSH. So a normal level of TT4, that is together T3 and T4, a low level of T4 and a high TSH is a classical sign. When you get this, no, it's a classical sign that it's a case of hypothyroidism. Now how we will go through this? What are the steps? We'll go through this. We'll see this. Now there is a good flow chart how to proceed. We have suspicion, seeing the history, physical examination, and whatever the knowledge we are having. Then we will check for the T4 level. T4 level, hypothyroidism. If it's normal, then hypothyroidism we will say no, it can't be there. But if the T4 is low, then we will go for the testing of the free T4 or the T3 and TSH. Okay, both we will test. TSH is high, definitely it's a case of hypothyroidism. TSH is normal, hypothyroidism can be possible. We have to go to the test of free T4. If T4 is low, definitely it's a consistent with hypothyroidism. If it's normal, hypothyroidism cannot be there. So what is the situation? T4 is low. We have to see the TSH and T4. TSH is high, definitely hypothyroidism, and in that case also the free T4, it should be low. Free T4 should be low, T4 should be low, and TSH should be high. So these three parameters together give you a proper diagnosis that yeah, it's a case of hypothyroidism. Otherwise, just seeing the T4 level, we will be giving drugs mostly what I see, and the animal don't show any sign of improvement. Now coming on to the favorite part which everybody waits for. Want to become a very good veterinarian, you should always focus first on the diagnosis, how to make a proper diagnosis, then treatment, okay, which is not the case mostly. So treatment for hypothyroidism, it's very simple when we have diagnosed properly. Hormone called levothyroxine, which is a synthetic T4, at the rate of 0.02 mg per kg per dose quarterly, 12 hours once we can give. Either we can put on a once daily treatment or twice daily treatment. And if other diseases are present, for example like diabetes or any heart failure, renal failure or liver diseases are present, then we can decrease the dose from 25 to 50% slowly. 25 to 50%, like 50% we have to decrease the dose rate, okay, and we have to evaluate after 4 weeks, then after 6 months, and then after 1 year. That we have to continuous monitoring of the animal is very much necessary while giving this drug. One important point, since we are the veterinarians here, we are the vet techs here, everything we do by ourselves. While collecting the blood, one thing should be noted, that the blood should immediately kept into a cold place and should not be left otherwise for more period of time. Otherwise the results will be showing an elevated TSH or T4 levels, which will not give proper results to us. So as I said, we should focus more on the diagnosis instead of treatment. So if you have learned anything from this, and if you like this video, how I explaining and everything, so please like, share and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Thank you.